Hello everybody. I hope everybody is somewhere comfortable and safe at this time. I live in the Bay Area outside of San Francisco, so we are under a shelter-in-place order, which means we're all home. Me, my husband, my 3 kids, my 2 cats, my snake, and my son's pet rat. It's a very full house. It also means that if you hear any incidental noise, it's because there's a house full of people here. And it's kind of hard to keep everybody occupied and quiet for any length of time. But in the meantime, I'm still going to try and read and make videos. It's actually harder to find time to read right now, just because I'm also trying to make sure that the kids are getting some schoolwork done, that they're getting some fresh air outside when they can, because we've also had a lot of rain. Fingers crossed we get some good weather soon. I'd like to just put them out in the swimming pool if possible. So hopefully that will be something we can do at some point. In any case, I did finally finish this book, The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. This one was recommended to me by a couple different readers who really enjoyed it. I remember one friend said, oh, I sometimes reread it periodically. And anytime I hear somebody say something like that, and I'm sorry, I am losing my voice a little bit too. Anytime I hear somebody say that they rewatched a movie, or that they like to rewatch a movie, or they like to reread a book, I always think, okay, rereadability, at least for me, is in part due to there being a twist, usually, that you want to go back and reread from the beginning with that new knowledge, if that makes sense, and to see how things fit together now that you have this extra piece of information. And I was right. I mean, there's a definite twist in this book that I won't spoil for people who haven't read it. I'm definitely late on reading this book. I think it was written in 2009, 10, maybe 11. I don't know. It's about 10 years old. I keep getting these older books recommended to me. Oh gosh, no, 2006. Even older than I realized. So anyway, the book itself is set in England. It's about a woman named Margaret who is the daughter of an antiquarian bookseller, collector. He has a bookshop, but he makes his money mostly from collecting rare books that he sells to known buyers with money who are looking for very specific things. Margaret has an invalid mother who suffers from headaches and, I don't know. Anyway, Margaret's, she's not young. She's an adult, effectively. I don't know if they say how old she is in this book, but she enjoys writing little biographies of dead, obscure authors, I guess. I don't know if you've ever gone on Amazon and seen the little pamphlets that you can get. They're small, short, little biographies, and I get the sense that that is what she's talking about when she talks about writing these things. But the book starts out with Margaret getting a letter from a known reclusive author named Vida Winter, who wants Margaret to come out to her house in Yorkshire and write her biography. Miss Winter is old and she's ill, and she has, over the course of her career, told many fibs about her. Oh, it's my cat. Hang on. Evie. There he is. Okay. Now he's happy. All right, so Vida Winter is old and ill, and she's told many fibs, I guess. I'm supposed to be touching my face, right? Not like the whole thing. Don't touch your face. I did wash my hands, though. Then I touched the cat, then I touched my face. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, well. She's old, she's ill. She's told, over the course of her career, she's told lots of different weird little stories to, magazine interviewers. And now she's decided the end of her life. It's time to tell the truth about her childhood and all these things. And that's what we're getting, is like a story inside a story. And we get Margaret's story a bit too. And I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil that either, although part of Margaret's big secret is revealed very early in the book. So it's an interesting setup, I guess. And it's got a lot of Gothic elements. It's got an old house and weird main characters and, you know, and all of that kind of thing. My, I guess, problem with the book, because I do love a good Gothic story, is that all of the characters feel a little bit thin. I couldn't really get invested in Margaret. I didn't really see the point of her whole side story, to be honest, aside from giving her a very, I guess, definite connection to Vida Winter and a reason to be interested in Vida's story. But I don't know. It's just, it was all, even though it gave the impression of having depth, at the end of the day, it really didn't have a lot of depth. And that bothered me, I think. And I realized that a lot of Gothic stories are surface. They're all show. But, like, nothing in this, like, planted a deep seed in me. A good story, like, plants something that you carry with you. Even if it's, like, the most superficial story, there's, like, some moment or image or, I don't know, something. And this didn't do that for me. I liked it. It's a good book. It's competently written. It's a good story, I guess, for what it is. There are a lot of characters to keep track of. And I think that might be why none of them feel so super deep, because, you know, there's just not time in this book. And the book's already pretty thick. I mean, I guess it's 400 and something pages, right? Almost, yeah, about 406 pages. So, I mean, it's a good-sized book. I think it was a book that I didn't mind reading, but didn't feel like every time I put it down, I needed to pick it up again as soon as possible. Like, I didn't mind leaving it sit for a day or two if I had to. It wasn't something that I was aching to get back to or any rush to get back to. And again, that's another, for me, sign of a good book, is it's a book I really just want to keep reading. I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads. It was, you know, it's a good book. I don't think I need to reread it, even with the new knowledge, because I kind of figured it out earlier on. So I was reading it with this kind of intimation of that knowledge anyway. And so I don't know that it would give me that big difference in reading, you know, feeling. All my words have left me because I'm stuck in a house. My brain needs oxygen. The reader experience, it wouldn't give me like a very big different reading experience having this new knowledge, because I kind of already guessed it early on. So, so there's that. Yeah, I didn't realize until later that Diane Setterfield wrote Bellman in Black, which was another book that was recommended to me years ago, and I had actually bought a copy, and I didn't get very far in that one at all. I could not get into it. So maybe this just isn't an author whose style works for me. And that's, you know, that's just a very real possibility. Like I said, good. You know, to me, not like some wondrous reading experience. It seems like a lot of people like it. A lot of people like her. That's awesome. I am now reading A Study in Scarlet Women, which is another book recommended to me. by people who know about my history with Sherlock Holmes, that I love Sherlock Holmes, that I've written Sherlock Holmes stories. I'm only like 25% of the way into the book, so I don't want to make any massive conclusions, but I will say, I wish authors would quit trying to take Sherlock Holmes and turn him into a clever woman. And I've got nothing against clever women characters, clever women detectives, clever women Victorian detectives, but if that's what you want, write your own character. Quit trying to graft that onto Sherlock Holmes. I like Sherlock Holmes as Sherlock Holmes. That said, I am enjoying the writing in this book, A Study in Scarlet Women. I do think it's very well written. I think the characters are very well crafted. But I do have this very specific bias against this conceit that seems to be the conceit in this story. And we'll see how it goes and whether or not this book changes my mind. But that's for next time. If you have any suggestions for things for me to read, leave them in the comments. If you've read The 13th Tale and loved it or hated it, or something else by Diane Setterfield maybe, or you think I should give Bellman in Black another try, then, let me know that too. And I will see you next time as soon as I'm able to sit down and read any more of any given book. It may take me longer than ever to finish anything these days, just with everything. You would think being home, there would be less to do, but there's actually more to do because there's more people here. Anyway, take care wherever you are. Stay safe, stay healthy, make good choices, and I'll see you next time.